Welcome to 843 TV. I'm your host, Will Wareham with WHHI-TV.
And I'm your host, Carrie Manning from Heritage Dental Spa and Salon. Today we are at the Bluffton campus of USCB, which brings us to our first guest, Dr. Najmah Thomas.
Our second guest is Professor Topher Marafi.
And our last guest is Dr. Jenna Chanowski. So make sure that you come right back for more 843 TV,
where communities come to speak.
.843 TV, where Bluffton comes to speak.
Where Spring Island comes to speak.
Where Hilton Head Island comes to speak.
Where Beaufort comes to speak.
.843 TV,
where communities come to speak.
Welcome to 843 TV. We're here this morning with Dr. Najmah Thomas. She is the Assistant Professor in Human Services. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Doing good. Thank you for being with us this morning.
Absolutely.
So we're going to start just by asking, why did you leave your work as a practitioner in the public sector for an academic career?
Well, I really enjoyed facilitation and working with adult learners as a practitioner. I did a lot of workshops and things of that nature. But what I noticed is a lot of the journal articles that maybe we as practitioners should be reading and implementing in the sector, we weren't doing that. And I had an opportunity to work with the Virginia Community College system, and I collaborated with some professors at my alma mater, VCU, and they talked about this data divide and wanting to find a way to bridge that. And I thought, well, this is an excellent opportunity. You know, I've had this massive amount of work in the sector, but I also have a connection to academia,
right.
and that's an opportunity I saw to really bridge the data divide and really make use of a lot of the research that you know, professors do. And
so you got the best of both worlds.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I have another question for you.
Sure.
Can you describe the collaboration between USCB's Human Services Program and the South Carolina Department of Social Services?
Yes, so our department is so excited to be partnering with the South Carolina Department of Social Services. They recently revamped their recruitment and outreach process for foster care families and adoptive families in Region 3. And that includes several localities across the region, from Charleston, Berkeley, Colleton, Beaufort, Jasper, so on and so forth. And they have contracted with several universities, in fact, to help the department recruit more high-quality foster care families and adoptive families in the region. So our department secured 2 of our top-tier graduates or seniors to form a community outreach and recruitment team. And so we've already put on several information sessions, and we get to do fun stuff like go to the Watermelon Festival, and the Gullah Festival. We're going to the Charleston River Dogs game. And it's really all about going where families are and bringing the information to them about what they can do to help young people who need help in crisis.
And I think there's a lot more people out there that are willing to help, but they're kind of maybe apprehensive because it was kind of a difficult process.
Absolutely, and I'm happy to say that DSS has completely revamped that process. And so now whereas it used to take several months or even a year to become certified, it was lengthy and it was a little cumbersome as well. I don't mind saying that. Our partners said that to us, but we are helping them implement their newly revised and revamped process where they've regionalized everything. And so we're very hopeful and excited that that's going to take a lot of that sort of sting out of the process, and because there is a need for families in the region.
There's a huge need just in Beaufort County.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
You recently received an award from USCB Sea Island Institute.
Yes.
What project or research will that grant support?
So the Sea Island Institute grant supported African American History Month here on campus at USCB. And our goal, the theme of this program actually was our shared South Carolina story. And the goal was really to broaden and deepen cross-cultural participation in African American studies events, particularly around African American History Month, but not just that month. And really we used February as a launching pad, and we're continuing to build awareness and engagement on the campus. I've used a lot of the data that I collected from several of the events that we put on to determine what a new course might be in the African American Studies. It's not necessarily a department, we've got 2 classes, but still we only have the intro course, and there's been a lot of excitement generated as a result of that grant. So I'm so thankful that we were able to bring in speakers like Queen Quet, who is Queen of the Gullah Geechee Nation, and several other excellent speakers, and several from our campus as well. So that's what that was about.
Very cool. It sounds like you're doing some very exciting work here at USCB.
I'm tired.
Some of your other, one of your other positions is Chair of the Human Services Program Evaluation Task Force.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about the mission of this task force and your role as chairperson?
Absolutely. So I had this weird desire to evaluate programs. I love data.
Okay.
And when I came on board, the department chair and the program coordinator for human services, they were involved in trying to get the program accredited through the Council for the Standards of Human Services Accreditation. Okay. And we have an awesome program here at USCB. Of course, our human services program does great things. But one of the areas for improvement was our evaluation of the comprehensive program. So we put together this task force to look at everything about the human services program, process, outcomes, employer satisfaction, you name it. And so I'm sharing that with Randy and Jim Glasson and several other of my colleagues. And we've surveyed, I am excited to say we had a 98 response rate from our program majors.
Wow, all right.
And that is almost unheard of compared to the 25% response rate from our external partners. But in any event, our goal is to be accountable to our stakeholders, to enhance and improve our program, and also to secure accreditation.
Okay, and as you evaluate the program, obviously there's ongoing research that needs to be done. Can you tell us a little bit about that research?
Absolutely. So recently we looked at 13 currently accredited programs because we wanted to see how they teach evaluation. What methods and modalities do they use to train the next generation of human services professionals and leaders to evaluate human services programs? And so we wanted to see if they aligned with professional standards and where there are some gaps. Were there some gaps, and how could we better inform our program? And so I'm happy to say that of those 13 accredited programs, there's very close alignment with the professional standards. There's some variation across particular topic areas, but generally speaking, we're right where we should be. So I'm excited about that for our sector.
That is very exciting work. Dr. Thomas, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Thank you.
And stick around for another segment of 843 TV.